Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Jaclyn Rae and I hope you stick around and hit that subscribe button. But today's video is going to be on the new Norvina palette. I've seen this palette everywhere, all over Instagram. Everybody's doing tutorials on YouTube. So as soon as it launched, I had to get it. This is a palette that is right up my alley. I love lavender. I love purples. Purples are probably my favorite color to put on my eyes. So as soon as this was released, I knew I had to get it. Here is what the palette looks like if you have not seen it already. Just a very pretty cool toned, even though there's some, you know, warm shades like this one right here that's kind of snuck in there. But very cool toned, purpley, whimsical, kind of what I would call like unicorn fairy shades, which are my favorite colors. Now, I've only used this one time, and it's this look here. And I'm just gonna come out and be like really, I'm just gonna say it. I've never been so frustrated working with a palette ever. Like ever. You'll see in the tutorial me really struggling with this palette. I feel like I put Soul, the shade, I feel like it muddied up the entire look. I feel like my crease shade, everything is just very muddy. I think it blended all together. You can't really distinguish each color I used. The shimmer shades at the top are extremely beautiful when you swatch them, but for some reason, and you'll see this in the tutorial, I could not get them to stick to my eye. They were extremely like clumpy. The fallout was probably worse than my Natasha Denona palette, which I always complain about the fallout with the shimmers there. And for some reason on this eye right here, this shade Wild Child, which I was so excited to use, it would not stick to my eye. Like the more I would pack the color on, it was just lifting off, and it was even taking off my eyelid primer or my concealer that I had laid down. And then the shade, what is this? Dreamer, the shade Dreamer here, it just wasn't showing up. I was trying to put that on my inner corner and have it gradient to Wild Child and then go into Celestial and then go into Dreamer, and the only one that really stuck on my eye was Dreamer. All the other ones, they just weren't showing up. So I ended up wetting my brush, and that did help, but it didn't help with the fallout. I still got tremendous fallout. I have so much powder under my eyes from just trying to pack on to get rid of it that my under eyes have never looked drier. So I do suggest doing your eyeshadow prior. I mean, doing your eyeshadow before you do your foundation and base, because you will get fallout. I don't know, I'm just very underwhelmed with this palette. It wasn't what I expected it to be. I feel like everybody said this was the same formula as the Modern Renaissance. I personally don't feel that way. I mean, I haven't used all of the mattes yet. I've used Soul, Incense, and Eccentric, and Passion are the ones I used. Passion is beautiful. I didn't have an issue with that. I just feel like Soul, I feel like the mattes were fine. I just feel like the moment Soul got introduced to it all, it just muddied it up. Like it instantly turned to mud. Maybe that's a shadow that needs to play more so by itself and doesn't mix well. I'm not sure. I've never had this kind of problem with any of the other Anastasia palettes I've used, and just the overall consistency of the shimmers, I don't know, I'm just really disappointed, and I was getting so frustrated when I was filming this look, like really frustrated. It just like all the colors just married together. I have like 4 different colors on my lid. It doesn't look like it. Even when I brought my magnified mirror up, it still didn't look like it. It just, I don't know, they weren't sticking to my lid. They were falling out everywhere. Obviously I'm going to continue to use this. It's just my first impression. I think I'm going to try to use less shades next time and maybe try a different primer. Like an actual primer, maybe like, I don't know, because I even used MAC's Painterly Paint Pot to kind of like clean up the lid. I didn't do a cut crease, but just to clean it up, and it still didn't stick. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna keep using it and I will definitely let you guys know, but upon first impression, I am not impressed with this palette, and I'm frustrated with this palette, and I'm just very disappointed. I'm just very, very disappointed because this palette was like, I was just so excited about it. But I will go ahead and swatch the shades for you on my arm. And like I said, they swatch beautifully. Like, they're really pretty. So I'm trying to do this without seeing what I'm doing, but hopefully you can see that and the lights aren't too big. But they do swatch really beautifully. I mean, they're really pretty. There's nothing bad I can say, but actually they're not even showing up on my arm now that I'm sitting here like actually looking at it. Okay, like they didn't even show up on my arm. Maybe they only swatch good on your fingers. Like, I can't see when I show you guys the swatches, but holy crap. Okay, let me try on just the back of my hand. It's still really crumbly. It's like barely there. Like, where's the pigment? It's, oh my god. And look at my palette. Do you see how this shade just crumbled and now it's up here? Like, I'm getting more and more disappointed in this palette. I swatched it, like I just rubbed them on my fingers yesterday, and like I only did like certain shades. I didn't do this shade, so that's like barely there. It's crumbled everywhere. Okay, so Dreamer was a bust. Let's try to swatch Summer and see if that shows up. Okay, there's that. That's showing up pretty decently, but still, it's just, I don't know. I'm not very impressed with the pigment. Just not very pretty. So let's try the Flower Child, because this is the one I had the most trouble with. Oh my god, it's like crumbling everywhere. I don't know if you guys can see that, but right here is Flower Child. I don't know. I mean, and on the finger, like, they look really pretty. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. All right, I'm just going to try to swatch the rest of them on the back of my hand so I can see what I'm doing. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, so I'm trying to finger swatch Summer, and it is literally, like, crumbling away. And that is the crumbling on my finger. So I'll swatch it on the back of my hand. This one does swatch better than Dreamer. So that is still a pretty color, but these are so crumbly. And I'm swatching Flower Child, and it is crumbling in the pan just like Summer did. And Flower Child is kind of barely there. And that's after like rubbing my finger 2 or 3 times. Like, I've seen other people use this palette in like the ones they got before it launched, and it didn't seem to be giving them any trouble. Let's go ahead and swatch Rose Gold, which again feels extremely soft. But this one actually has really nice pigment and is really pretty. So the top one here is Flower Child. Then we'll go with Eccentric, which is that really pretty purpley pink duochrome, which is actually the color I was most excited about in this palette. And this one actually swatches really nice. It just didn't work very well on my eye. I'm going to try to do another look using this one. And hopefully it performs better than it did. Next we'll swatch Dazzling, again feeling very soft, and as soon as my finger touches it, it's like, and I'm not doing it hard, but it's like digging a hole into the shadow. Again, very, very crumbly. It's like as soon as I start rubbing it on my hand, it's almost like it loses the pigment. But there it is on top. A pretty shade, but very crumbly. I feel like the moment you put your brush in these pans, you're gonna waste so much product. And then Drama, I'm swatching Drama with my finger. It feels a bit more dry and did not crumble, and that's what it looks like on the finger. And this one swatches beautifully, perfect. I wish they all felt and looked like this upon swatching. So that's the last 3 shades of the shimmer. I mean, they look pretty when you're swatching, but I just couldn't get the majority of them to work on my eye. Like I said, I'm going to keep playing. It's just upon first impression. I may grow to love this, or I might still hate it. So I forgot to mention this. The top row is all shimmer and the bottom row is matte, except for there is some shimmer in this one and in this one in Soul and Love. I did put Soul in my eye, and with the shimmer, I feel like it aged my eyes like 20 years. It really emphasized any texture or wrinkles or crepiness I have on my eyes. It emphasized it, so I will never use that in my crease again. I wasn't happy with that, but we're gonna go with the first shade, which is Base, which is this creamy color, which actually swatches really nice. It's gonna be hard to see because it's very similar to my skin tone. And then we'll do Soul, which I was pretty excited about this one too, and upon swatching it, it feels very, very dry. But here, this is what it looks like on the finger. And then we'll swatch it. Actually, this swatched pretty nicely. No, a little patchy, I lied. It's a little patchy, but again, you can't tell performance through a swatch. You can really only tell pigment or the color, but I can say I don't really like how it blended on the eye. Okay, now we'll go with Incense, which feels very nice and creamy, and this is just a really pretty pukey brown, swatched really nicely, very smooth. I did like this shade. I didn't really have a problem with that. I tried to use this shade to blend out this shade, though it did get really muddy. All right, next we'll swatch Love, which actually Love feels really nice. And that is Love. I haven't used this on my eye yet, but I will shortly. And then the next one is Volatile, which feels nice upon swatching. And that's what that looks like. Just a very cool tone, purpley grayish color, which again I haven't used on the eye. And then we have Eccentric, which also feels nice upon swatching, and I did use this a little bit, but it just, the more shadows I put, the worse it got. Like, the more I tried to fix it, the worse it got. But that is Eccentric up here. And then we have the last shade, which is Dreamer, which is probably one of my favorite shades in the palette. I just felt like this one performed probably the best out of all of them that I used. And that is this one. So that's the last few ones. So there are the swatches. I think the mattes are going to be okay. I just feel like the shimmers are just extremely soft and crumbly. They don't want to stay on my eyes. They just literally fell off. Like, I put them on and they fell. I'm noticing, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm looking in the mirror here and I just have shadow falling all over my lashes. And I used a setting spray. Like, I used a makeup setting spray afterwards. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep playing with this palette, but overall, I'm very, I don't like it. I'm just gonna say it. So far, first impressions, swatching, trying to use it, I don't like it. I know this isn't a very structured review. I don't know, it kind of threw off my game. Like, I came into this thinking I was really gonna love it, and it just really threw me off. So I'm sorry if this video seems a bit off. I'm just so frustrated with this palette. I'm probably gonna go wipe all this off before I film any more videos. I do have the new Kylie Cosmetics palette, so I might go ahead and film a review and swatch video on that next, but I'm so disappointed. But anyway, I'm sorry this is kind of a negative video. I apologize, but if you guys even want to see the tutorial and see me struggle and make a muddy mess, then just keep watching. If not, go ahead and exit out now. If you got this palette, let me know down below what you think about it, if you like it, and yeah. But so far I don't. I'm gonna keep using it. I'll let you know. I'll do a follow-up video letting you know after I've used it a few times. But sorry again if this is so negative. I know I feel so like drained right now. Like, I don't know. I feel like this just killed my mood. So I'm sorry. I love you guys so. I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye. All right, we are first going to go in with Incense and just, I think this is my Sigma diffuser brush, and just start using that, blending it into the crease, and everything is going well until we go into with this next shade, Soul, and this is the same brush, and as you can see, it just instantly starts to look extremely muddy. I did blend in here a lot, but I just cut a lot out because I didn't want you sitting here watching me blend for 30 minutes straight. But I did go in with a clean brush and try to blend out those edges. It just looked so muddy and choppy. Now I went in with the darkest shade in the palette, dark matte shade, and I tried deepening up the outer V. Where it went on the lid, it looked great, but when I tried to blend it up, not so much. So then I tried to go in with Eccentric just to kind of warm it up because it did look so muddy. And then I wanted to clean up the lid a little bit before I went in with the shimmery shade. So I went with my Matte Painterly Paint Pot. And now I went with this one, which I think is Dreamer. And as you can see, it is just not showing up. And I use this brush for all my colors like that. So now I'm going in with Daydream, and again, you can see it is just not showing up very well whatsoever. And then I tried to go in with my finger just to pack on more pigment, and that just caused it to go all over my face. And then I tried using a new brush, it's more stiff, to pack it in. Now I went in with that really pretty purpley shade and tried to pack that on the outer V, just not showing up again. Tried to intensify it again with that same brush, all three shades. Just really trying to build up this pigment to get something out of it. Now I went in and started packing that darkest shimmering shade on the outer V. This is actually a really beautiful color and worked really well. And now I'm just trying to blend it all together. You can see my frustrated face. That's my frustrated face. Now I'm just highlighting my brow bone with Dreamer, and it did okay. Just kind of, again, fell everywhere. Just wasn't easy to work with, and now I'm trying to clean up the aftermath. Now I'm just gonna kind of try to deepen that outer V. I was trying to like fix it and it wasn't working. So I did use some setting spray to try to pack on the pigment again. This did help a bit, and as you'll see, I'm going with all three shades again. Well, actually 4 shades. Trying to pack those on and get a little bit more color payoff, and it definitely did help the look. Now going back in with that same shade, I'm just going to pack that into the lower lash line using my Sigma Flat Definer brush. And then I'm just going to use a clean brush to blend that out. And then, I don't know why I did this, but I went back in with Soul to try to blend that out and make it more cohesive with the top. And instant muddiness. I just think I don't like this shade. I don't know. I just don't. Now I'm just going in with my Tarte's Double Take Liner, lining my upper lash line. I did go in with some lashes, but I didn't film it because I knew it was going to take me forever because I have false nails on and I can't do anything. Alright, now I'm just highlighting my inner corner with Dreamer, and now I'm going with Bronze Goddess that was sent to me by Estee Lauder. And I'm just bronzing up my face. I love this bronzer. It's in shade Light, but it's actually pretty dark. And I just think it's really pretty and has a natural tan to it. Now I'm going in with the blush that Ofra had sent me, Bellini, which has been kind of my go-to blush over the last few months. And it paired really nicely with this look. And now I'm going in to try the loose highlighters from Kylie. And this one is in Fiji. It's more of a golden color. And holy crap, these are pigmented. Now I know what all the fuss is about. Definitely love them. And now I'm just going in with Salt Life from Tarte. Just a really pretty mauve-y, you know, lip. And then my Urban Decay setting spray that Urban Decay did send me. And that was it for this look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry this look came out so bad. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Love ya. Bye.